its spiritual or its moral aspect both came together. And so it grew, your business grew, my knowledge and trust grew, and here we are. But they are tied together intricately. More so, I want people to realize what you said. They are tied together.
Yes, they are.
Very closely.
Let me give you an example.
No, go ahead.
Let me give you an example of how they tied together. Let me tell you a story without telling the parties involved, because people, family members be acting up when you like, man, people know who you talking about when you said such, so I'm going to leave that out. Right. But this is an actual true story. My brother put a trust together for me. We sat down. It was a public trust, whatever. I didn't know much. I just wanted to have him look over it and put trust together. Actually, so remember when I actually transferred a car over to the trust, my family members? Yes. So we actually talked on the phone. He actually gave me a consultation, broke it down. Mine was free because that's my partner, that's my ace. And he actually gave me some energy in his time and telling me how to do this correctly. So I had some family members in some drama through their life and having businesses, but mainly working from the Social Security side. They had property and whatnot. You notice I said had, nugget. So when you don't protect yourself, you get taken advantage of. So calling him, these individuals going through drama, going through bankruptcy, having federal court as the actual bankruptcy courts, coming and debtors that was creditors, coming after them trying to strip everything they have built over 40 plus years. They had cars. So when they had some vehicles, over 3 vehicles that were paid off, and one of them was a high-end vehicle, so I won't say the name, and some of y'all will figure out who it is. Transferred them all. I didn't know no better. I didn't have the time to deal with all these entities that were trying to take their stuff. Transferred them all to a trust, except the one that wasn't paid off. That was automatically asset protection right there. That entity trust right there was able to, and if you remember, I couldn't put a private one together because I didn't understand the complexity, but I understood the public one. Move that bad boy over there. It automatically changed the names. They transferred the actual, what are them things called? The deed or what a car pink slip? The title. Mm-hmm. They actually transferred the title, sold it for like less than $100 over to the actual trust, each one of them vehicles. Do you know that the entities and the creditors and the actual courts that was coming to actually take that from them? I mean, literally within 30 days, when they didn't respond, they was going to strip and take that. So they lost the case. And they started coming after all of their assets. But the stuff that they needed to go to work with, the vehicles, stuff that they actually had paid off, because it was moved over to there when they started looking for it, pulling it up, passing the information over to the repo man, and the repo man pulling up. Everybody go through documentation legally to pull it up.
Database footprint.
Database footprint, like he talked about, protecting your footprint. They didn't own it no more in their personal name. Entities, like he mentioned, are walking in, and they're using them as real persons. So when he moved it over to a public trust, all 3 of those properties, they still had it this day. They couldn't take nothing. It was a real good feeling to just see them go for the heightening of knowing that we're going to actually seize and take all this, and they couldn't take nothing. They were driving in it, parking in the same driveway. They couldn't take nothing because they didn't own it. So you're right, man. They got it through their businesses as well as through their actual personal name, but they turned around and transferred it over to an actual public trust. And that trust, the actual courts couldn't even come through and do nothing. The actual, the repo man couldn't do nothing. The actual trustee that was working for that couldn't do nothing because they didn't own it. They were just suing and attacking them. So in their minds, they assumed they sold it to someone that wasn't them, which is true. I always tell y'all, these entities that you set up are automatically asset protections, and they're, like he mentioned, they're acting in the capacity of a real live person. So the more you protect it, that's like your team right there. Man. You can like give and move stuff over here, and it's what you moving. Nonprofit deals with being tax-free and taking donations and giving gifts. Private trust is allowing you to have all your stuff not interacting with the public and commerce so much, and the public I might dip his head out a little bit. But the actual LLCs and corporations, they want to always get money from those banks. They want to give money. But it's what you do with it after you get it to slide it over to a private trust or a nonprofit. You got to keep in mind that they always trying to take. And they give to you to come back and take from you in the future. But you're supposed to know how to take it. Go ahead, give. The trust is there. And I'm going to slide it right over here to a trust. That's what's powerful about that. I just want to give a nugget. I know I always go on that long-winded route, but you know.
And this was a public trust.
Yes.
And the thing of it was everybody was put on notice. Now, if they want to get your property and it's not in the trust, they just snatch it because it's basically theirs.
They do their little administration process.
You know why? That document you have called a license basically says the state is responsible for that car, so they can come snatch it.
Right.
Okay. When you put it into a trust, even if it's public, minimum protection. Now they have to contend to take that, and 9 times out of 10, especially in a bankruptcy situation or something like that, they don't want to contend with that. Yes. They don't want to go to court because they're already looking bad for taking people's stuff. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So now you're going to go to court and try to force the issue as to why you're trying to strip this person of their livelihood. You're trying to take their car so they can't go to work. You're trying to take their house so they have nowhere to live.
So it's different rules when you have a actual trust together. So they have to go through different to pierce it.
To pierce it,
they have to go through.
Now, if you have a private trust, they have to even find the trust first
because the trust is never filed nowhere, right?
It's never filed.
What? So a private trust is put on record. How?
Because they come.
How do you like formulate this bad boy?
You don't put a private trust on record. That's the thing. You just let them know that they can't have it, and it's in a private trust.
Do you get it at least notarized?
It's up to. Oh yeah, you definitely get everything notarized. All your paperwork and stuff to transfer over to the trust is secondary. Now you can if someone's trying to take your property, when anything you put down in your paperwork that you give to the court, that is automatically that's your word. Okay, you don't have to do any declaration. So after there's a declaration, they have to take that as face value. So you're telling me
a trust, I don't have to file it like a corporation on the state level?
No.
I literally can just draft it up correctly, get it notarized, and put it in my file cabinet.
That's it.
At my house.
That's it.
And it's real. It's real.
That's it.
It even has damn near more powerful than the corporation.
That's it.
Come on, man. Hey, you trying to tell me I ain't got to stamp this with the county? I don't have to record it on the county level?
No, you don't. Now, the only thing that if you transfer a house
into
it, if you transfer a house into it, then of course you're dealing with the deed that's at the county records.
Right.
Then they would know.
And you're just basically putting almost the entity's name.
Exactly.
Not even the bylaws, the trustees' names, the grunters, beneficiaries. They don't know nothing. No. Not even the declaration. They just got the name.
All you do is go down to the county and say, "Listen, my trust is called None of Your Business Trust, and that's where my house is going." You fill out that paperwork they have,
and you record it,
and that's it. It's a done deal. Okay?
You see how a lot of things they kept you in the dark of?
Yeah.
He just said you ain't got to even register this nowhere. No. So you telling me with this kind of trust like this, I can take this that hasn't even been registered with the state or the county. I can go get a bank account open up with this trust.
Absolutely. In my course, I go to the
I remember
verification
you did that.
where it says you don't have to record a trust. It's not required for a trust to be recorded.
Now, I know that. I just want to, but it's a trip. It's a trip because you even did a video on showing people how to open up a bank account with the trust, right?
Yes.
And that wasn't registered. That's not registered with the state or the county, right?
No, absolutely not. No.
And you should even show the bank account card with it having the trust name right on it.
Right. And I gave people, if you haven't watched that video, you need to check it out because when you establish your bank account, there's a few sly tricks that they try to do to get you to you personally take responsibility for the trust account.
Okay? And even give up your social, huh? They'll try to make
you give up your social. But as I say in the video, you have options where you don't have to go that route.
So you got an EIN number without even registering it with the state or the county?
Yes.
All right. So, okay. So, I think we pretty much covered everything, man. I thought we was going to be going in. We did go in and gave some nuggets and whatnot. Go ahead.
Cover. My brother mentioned family and trust. And as much as he tries to hide that Well, he's as he's saying, he understands this. He understands this very well, and it slips out if you're paying attention. Where he said he used the analogy of family and trust as a direct correlative to the trust law, which it absolutely is. One of the things that wealthy people have that we don't have is unity. One of the reasons that they have unity is because of these trusts. I don't know if people remember Paris Hilton. She is the daughter of the hotel magnate, Hilton Hotel. And for a while, she was doing a whole bunch of wild stuff. Well, word has it that Paris got pulled to the table and was informed that her distribution was going to be curtailed if she didn't stop all these shenanigans that she was doing in the public. Because if you notice, right off the bat, she was out of there with the shenanigans. Okay? That's how you structure a family. One of the ways you structure a family is if everyone is involved in this entity, which is, again, the way it differs from a state entity is that with a state charter, you can't necessarily have your family members on board. With the private trust, you can put on the board who you want to, as long as you can justify it in court, and as long as you can make sure that the positions don't conflict with one another in terms of conflict of interest. But if your family is a part of your trust team, and you guys are meeting every 6 months, every year, to discuss the family business and how to grow the assets and which are the best ways to invest, and people see that they have an investment in the growing asset, the growing wealth, do you think that that's going to pull your family together a little bit? Ask the rich how they do it, how they get down with these trusts, and why their families are so tight, and why generation after generation they control not only their own destinies, but oftentimes the destinies of other people, other citizens, people that we know, people that we see, even us sometimes. All right, so that's my spiel on it, brother.
Wait. I gotta get this. It was back to that story about when you mentioned family and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it makes a difference because my family, they looked at me in a different way when that happened.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Man, things started changing right there. I mean, we
Yeah.
got really closer, and people outside of them heard about it, and they actually got closer and tried to find information. And I actually helped them create trust, public ones, because I ain't that fast with the private ones. Actually, through him, to create something on their own so they can navigate better. But I'm telling you, when it's a good feeling out there, y'all, when you drive it and you rolling, and you have like a vehicle that you might have paid off, because a lot of us out there, we so worried about the individual that's get behind us, or you see him on the side of the freeways, or you see him in the cut, gunning and whatever. They just like little watchdogs. You get all nervous, your heart start beating, and you're worried about your paperwork in your car, you're worried about your license plate, you're worried about your tags, your registration. All of that hits your mind. But you have to keep these things on point. They don't have to be in your name. Absolutely. It's better for them not to be in your name. Absolutely. So when I'm rolling and I actually got to the point, I remember that place when I actually said, I'm not actually going, I don't care if my car's used or not, and I'm going to get the kind of used car that I like to drive. But I'm going to pay it off, and they ain't never taking no car from me. I know a lot of y'all got to that page that, we forget financing because I can't keep up with the Joneses, and plus my documents might not be right and they come back and take it from me. I've been through that. I done got 3 cars repoed for me, so I know the feeling of being on the side of the freeway, all your suitcases and your stuff out there, and you trying to get to a call box to call somebody, or you ain't got your cell phone. So when I'm rolling, if it's a vehicle that I'm not using for the purposes of a business to build extra credit line so I can have that debt so it can marinate and be something else so I can extract money from the actual public side through these commerce venues. When it's something that I want to keep like an antique vehicle that I want to pass down to my son, or I'm going to keep long term, when it's in that trust, it's a real good feeling when they punch up my license plate. Same thing with that corporation vehicle. They punch up the license plate and it shows the entity's name, the trust name. Automatically they got problems. They don't know who's in that vehicle. They don't know. They'll put up the name and it'll show. They don't know if I'm a beneficiary. They don't know if I'm a grantor. They don't know if I'm a trustee. They don't even know if I'm part of the 3.
Exactly.
They don't know who I am. They just know I'm a licensed and insured to drive this vehicle. So my name will pop up, a face will pop up, but the vehicle don't belong to the state. You dig what I'm saying? Not entirely. So it's a powerful position to be in when they like want to just and pull off because it's extra work. They don't want to deal with all that. So man, I'm trying to tell you, that's just little things, man. Y'all understand that I always talk about the spider web. When y'all start dealing and dabbling and putting your energy and your time into actual trust and corporations and whatnot, merging them together, it's so much you can do. And protecting yourself and moving as a family. And if your family want to get out of line and don't want to act right, these can be your family. They're going to act right. They're going to want to know what you're doing and how you navigating like that. Anyways, man. Thank you, brother. So I'm just telling y'all, I don't endorse nobody unless they are really going in. This is my ace partner, but believe me, y'all wanted to know where I learned a lot of my actual information on health side. I said it before, health practitioner, as well as I told you before, trust side. So he's in the trust lane. I mean, on the private, deep lane, and it was too complex for me. And y'all like, complex for Kareem? Yeah, I was doing too much, and I got family. I didn't have time to get into that deep. So why not get with those? That's why y'all kind of chose me as a teacher. Why not get with those that actually have already done the work, they're already living it, and they actually giving you kind of like the actual framework. And then you can add your nuts and bolts and actually dress it up any kind of way you want with different kind of clothes and attire. But we just actually putting the frame together so you can fly and you can sidestep this wicked system, the matrix they got you in. You dig it?
I got you. I'm not going to let you get away with that, brother. It wasn't too complex for him. He just didn't want to be bothered with it. He had other empires that he was trying to build because, as I said before, his savvy with the business world made me look at things a little different and made my eyes open up to trust. So, but if you want to tell the folks that, that's
all right, that's my partner for me. He right. He got the truth on that right there. So, all right, man, I'm gonna get with y'all later. I'll holler at y'all, and remember, this is chess,
not chess.